All right, welcome back. Here we are. We are looking at our next group of words with Latin root words and word parts. So we are going to focus on our next three set of words that all have the same word part, but we are going to be working and decoding different segments or different pieces of it that are going to kind of differentiate or have different meanings, change the meanings of our words. So here we start out with pronounce. And if you look, I've underlined all three of them. And so I went ahead and I always rely on my dictionary. I always use resources. So I looked up the meaning of my root, and I learned that the meaning of pronounce, and I should have added the pro to that part. I will have to go back and fix that. But it means to say the sounds of a word. And we are all familiar with that. So I began then looking at the other parts of my words that I knew I could decode. So I know that able here means it's the ability to do something. And so I'll underline that. And so therefore, if I can take pronounce and add my able to the end and take those two meanings and put them together, then I know that pronounceable is made up of sounds that can be or are able to be said. And so if I also took, and it's not on here, but if I added the prefix un, which I knew and I know that you and I've worked together, and something was unpronounceable, then that means what? Are you thinking on the same page with me? Yeah, I know that adding that piece to my word, kind of like that block we talked about, it would be something that could not be able to, or could be not, or not could not be said. Ooh, what a tongue twister that could be. So pronounce is the ability or saying the sounds of a word. Pronounced, you see here, you're catching on where we added the suffix ed, and that's going to move us over here, I think, to our next slide. Yes. So if I look at this last word, the next step, if I'm going to look at any other suffixes here, I can see that pronounce ends with the ed. And it tells me that the word means something that was said in the past. Okay, so I pronounced that word incorrectly, which I've done several times. Okay, I will totally confess to that. So what about the word pronounce? What tense do you think that word is in? All right, I'm just going to let you ponder that one, and I'm going to let you post that in the comment box below and leave it for your teachers so that they can look to see what your thought process is. So let's take a look at our next chunk of word parts, or our next group of words, spelling words. The last one, the last set, is measure. Okay, so therefore I know that, I'm not sure if this went, okay, our last group focuses on the word part measure. Somehow I think these slides got switched. My bad. Our last group focuses on the word measure. The different suffixes are going to change the meanings. So the first thing, of course, like I said, we always have to do is to find out what measure means. So I find out, and I know that it means to find the size or the amount of. Then I'm going to look to see if I know any suffixes, if I can see any suffixes that are added. And ment or meant sticks out. And I know that if I look up that meaning or I look up that suffix, it's going to mean the act of. So if I put those two word parts together, I can take measure, meant, click them together, and I have the meaning of a new word. And so I know that it's going to be measurement. I can relate it, and I know from past experience it's going to mean that it's he or she is in the act of or finding the size or amount of something. If you are taking the measurement of the doorway, then I know that you are measuring it at that time. Okay, so now let's step back up here to this. And this is my last section here. The last word, measured. Therefore, I know that this word is in what tense? We've talked about that ed suffix. They're popping out at us all through this week. So I'm going to let you, as we wrap up this week of spelling, post your answer in the comment box. And when you think you have figured it out, leave your answer for your teacher. Remember to study hard, and I will see you again next week for a new list of spelling words. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye for now.